Hello everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day, and today I'm going to be doing a little anodizing project. Now I have everything already set up so that this isn't a 2.5 hour long freaking video. No, anodizing does not take that long, but the prep work is something that's very important. You want to make sure you have the basic PPE, goggles, gloves, clean wipes. You want to have the majority of your area relatively clean. Work in a space where there isn't random gusts of wind, so you don't have dust and random particulates falling on whatever piece you're working on. Need a good quality power supply. I have my thing over here. It's just kind of out of frame right now. It's at 80.6 volts, and it's there because I'm trying to achieve teal or in that color range on the piece that I'm working on. I have my Winx rust remover over here. I'm using that in the place of essentially an etchant in this little container right here. I have just some water and borax as a neutralizer, and then here is the main vat or space where the piece is going to be obviously anodized. And I have, of course, some titanium wire. I have a titanium is it cathode or anode? I don't freaking know, but the other corresponding part, I have this piece already washed. This is a little budget pry bar that I bought, and it's all fresh and clean. I should be wearing gloves, but I'm not super worried about this. I've been running back and forth like scrubbing things, so I know my hands are relatively clean, but you would want to be using gloves. I just ran out of gloves, but I want to do the project anyway, so I'm not super concerned about what really happens to this piece. Again, it's a little budget pry bar. It has a nice little chisel pry edge with a little point right there, so it could be a package opener, bottle opener, of course. It has little spots right there for tritium, if that's something that you like. Of course, lanyard holes and just other little markings and milling spaces just for visual texture and a little bit of designy flair. I think this is a cool little piece. I will be linking it down directly to Amazon. I am not an affiliate and I don't get anything out of it, but I think it's a cool little piece, definitely. So it's going to go essentially in the acid, in the neutralizer, and there, and we'll see how it comes out. So the idea for this particular one is what I'm going to do is hit it, make it teal, and then sand over all the surfaces, and then go a lower voltage bronze that's going to be probably around like 15 volts. You want to do it in that way, so that way that the teal that is in the grooves and some of the deeper areas that I don't hit with my sandpaper. I have a little piece right here. This is some just 2000 grit wet sand. You don't need anything fancy. You could go lower, you could go a little bit higher. Just be conscious of, your scratch pattern and things like that. It wouldn't be very consistent. But the milling on this is relatively deep that I'm not worried one bit about removing any of the teal that is inset into the deeper parts. I know I'm probably going to have some teal peeking out right there, but this is all machined and chamfered right there. I'm not super worried about it. This is supposed to be kind of like a semi-futuristic sci-fi kind of color scheme. Teal with bronze over. It's supposed to be a little grungy, a little bit dark. That's the idea. I've done a knife like this before. It was a cool, fun project, and I really enjoyed the look of it. So we're gonna go ahead, hook it with this piece of tie. We're going to put it into the acid. I'm going to watch it bubble and everything and do its thing, but I'm gonna bring you in real close so you can see all the cool color changey stuff that happens to it. The reason why you watch anodizing videos, right? You want to see the cool color changing process. So, sorry, all the bumps and the random shuffling and noises. It's just a part of it all. So let's get this thing opened up. A little trick that I will say. It's wintertime and it's pretty freaking cold. I had to make sure that all my liquids are warm because for whatever reason, anodizing with cold water or cold temperature liquids, for whatever reason, it just doesn't really work out too well. So when things are room temp or on the warmer side, effects and processes take place much faster, and I've experienced more consistent results. So I'm gonna put it here in the acid just to clean off any sort of, just any little, I guess, surface oxidization of the titanium itself. I do not remember the grade of titanium, but I believe it is a decent grade alloy of sorts. So just waiting. Okay. So about like 30 seconds to a minute to start seeing all the, I guess, just the surface of it just starts to get picked out a little bit by the acid. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw this into the neutralizer. Make sure to get all the wings rust remover off of that. Cover the wings rust remover because now we just don't need it anymore. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Let's go ahead and put this into here. And we can go ahead and hook it up, and you guys will see the cool color change effect that happens to this. Let's get a little bit closer in. All right, let's go. So you see the bronze, then it's gonna go to blurple, then blue, and then it's gonna go through kind of like a silver, then yellow, and then you're gonna start seeing some pinks. It's gonna go into high voltage blurple, and the finish on the titanium is everything. What is on here, I believe, is just a standard bead blast, so I'm not expecting anything super vibrant when it comes to the teal. So let's just see what happens, really. So it looks like we're kind of hanging out in just purple. I can go ahead and actually bring this thing up. Let's go ahead and take it out for a sec. Let's go to 85. I'll just do 86. So if we can get some blues in there a little bit more, that'd be nice. We're getting there nice and slow. Process kind of takes a second. All right. We're getting somewhere. I'm not sure if I will get the results that I'm looking for, but it's still a fun project overall, working with titanium. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that bead blast doesn't really lend itself too well to vibrant colors like teal. But it's looking like a nice high voltage blurple right there. I'll go ahead and pull this out for a second. Let's go up to we're at 90 now. Let's see what that gives us. It'd be cool to get any sort of light color out of this. And then we're gonna go sand it over and then put bronze. So I'm kind of cool with whatever happens at this point. If we can get a little bit of green, a little bit of blue in all the milling spaces, I think that'd be neat. All right, so all the numbers are finally stabilizing and kind of settling out. At this point in time, we're not really gonna see much more color come through. It looks pretty dull, kind of underwhelming, but I'm sure it'll be a little bit more vibrant as we pull it out. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my power supply off. Make sure to give it a second to completely shut off, because it's still live for a second as the system is powering off. And at this point, we can go ahead and touch our piece. We can take it out. Have a paper towel right here ready. Let's take this thing out of there and we'll check it out right here. We'll see what's up with this. Yeah, that bead blast is just, it really dulls out a lot of color, but I still think it looks interesting. The piece is warm because there's a lot of current running through it, so it's nice. Also, this is very warm water. It was like steaming just a second ago. So let's get that nice and dry. So this thing looks cool. I mean, it has hues of what would be a tealish and a green. I think it's still pretty neat. What I'm going to go do now is just take this, sand it all over, and you can see there's even still a little bit of green up there. Maybe having more skin tone and just not like straight white paper. Yeah, you can see some green, a little bit of blue in it. All the purple is definitely gone out of it, so we're in the whole nother color spectrum there. We're past all the purples and pinks and whatnot. So we got greens and blues. They're just really powdery because of the finish that's on it. So I'm gonna go ahead into the kitchen, hit it with some wet sandpaper, and then we're going to hit this thing at, we can do 15 volts. I think that'd be pretty neat. So just hang tight. Alrighty, we're back. So most of the high spots, pretty much all of the high spots, have this semi-polish. You can see the low spots have that really powdery blue. Now that you have it against a silver semi-polished background, you could really see that nice powdery blue color. Would have wanted, of course, to get a little bit more green, a little bit more teal in it, but I still think this is gonna be a pretty cool project. Let's go ahead and put it back on the tie wire. I have my power supply set up at 12 volts. Gonna go ahead, just dip it into this water and borax over here just to knock off any sort of like lint left over by that napkin. Go ahead, put it back in here. Let's keep it away from that piece over there. And let's go ahead and hook this thing back up, and fingers crossed something cool happens. All right, so it's only at 12.3 volts, so it's really, really light, really, really faint. You can still see a lot of that color popping through. I want to get it a little bit darker, just a little bit darker. I'm going to do my best not to be too greedy with it. Let's go up to 15. Okay, right at, let's see, this power supply is a little sensitive. 15.01. Nice, nice. That's cool, that's cool. I like it, I like it, I dig it. It's nice. And I'm gonna call that good. Pull this thing out. Let's get this thing off the tie wire. Let's give this thing a little wipe. This one looks pretty sweet. Not what I exactly wanted, but it's still pretty neat looking. You're gonna see all the edges, highlights of the bronze. I think it looks pretty cool. So it has that bronze sheen with that powdery blue under it. Still think it looks pretty cool. Not mad at all. Very nice, clean and consistent. No weird marks, no smudges of oils or whatnot. Very, very clean. I do enjoy this quite a bit. Looks nice, very nice. And I'm glad I didn't go into like 16, 17, 18 volts, because right after the really vibrant bronze gold, it starts to darken up, and at a high polish, a lot of purple starts to peek through. It looks cool, the purple looks cool and whatnot, but I'm happy where this is at right now. I think it's a cool little piece, definitely. So it's a nice little piece of little pocket trinket, little pocket trash right here, you know. All right, it's gonna go into this little leather slip and probably almost never get used. So that was fun. That's how anodizing is done. I do it very inconsistently and just for the hell of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I hope it was slightly informative. It probably wasn't. But if it did help you, I'm glad it did. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your patience, of course. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing so I play more videos and content coming you guys this way. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.